Hi children, welcome to grade 5 English and this is our session 3 in chapter number 10, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And today we are going to learn the concept connection, relative pronouns. And children, we already learned what is a pronoun, right? The pronouns are words that are used in place of nouns that have already been mentioned once. And pronouns are mainly used to avoid repetition of the noun again and again while you are writing or speaking. There are various pronouns like he, she, it, we, I, they, etc. And today we are going to learn relative pronouns in this chapter. A relative pronoun refers to the noun that is mentioned earlier in the sentence for which more information is added later. And for example, who, whom, that, which, where, whose, why, whosoever, whichever, whatever, etc. Children, a relative pronoun refers to the noun that is mentioned earlier in the sentence and for which we are going to add more information later. For example, Rima, who was responsible for organizing the party, fell ill. The author, whose book has won an award, is a close friend of mine. You are adding additional information about the noun they have mentioned earlier using these relative pronouns. And relative pronouns also join two or more sentences together. The girl met me on the road. She is a radio jockey. The girl, who is a radio jockey, met me on the road. And these relative pronouns are also used to join two or more sentences together. And the use of relative pronouns, here they have given you subject for people, who, for things or concept, which, that, for place, where, for time, when, for reason, why, and object, for object, and in people you have to use whom, and for things or concept, which and that, and for possessive you have to use whose. When you are telling about the belonging of someone or something, okay, that is what we call it as possessive. For that we use whose. And here they have given you the usage of each relative pronoun in detail. Who, it is used for a person followed by a verb. I know the author who wrote the amazing children's series. Whom, this is also used for a person followed by a noun and then a verb. The student whom the school was proud of returned to visit after 10 years. Whose, it is used to show ownership or possession. The old lady whose purse was stolen went to the police station. That, it is used for a thing or object followed by a noun or a verb. The cat that got injured limped painfully. Which, used for a thing or an object. She looked longingly at a watch which was more expensive than she could afford. Why, used for a reason. He wanted to know the reason as to why I was unhappy. Where, and it is used for a place. Can you tell me about a place where I could buy a pair of good walking shoes? When, used for time. He reached the place when the party was almost over. And children, I hope you are clear with this relative pronouns, right? And let us do some class activity to make it more clear. Practice zone 2. First question. Complete the paragraph by inserting the relative pronouns given in the help box. Children, read the passage carefully and you have to fill in the suitable relative pronouns in the given blanks. You can use the help box they have given here. Okay? Yes. And second one, match the sentences using relative pronouns. And in your workbook, question number 9, read the following sentences, rewrite them using appropriate relative pronouns. Here they have given you some sentences, right? And you have to use proper relative pronoun to combine these two sentences given here. And let's summarize what we have learned today. We have learned relative pronouns, and relative pronouns help us to add additional information about the noun which we have mentioned earlier, right? And for each, that is for place, for person, for a thing or for concept, we will be using different relative pronouns. So you have to be more clear about that. And let me tell you the home assignment for today's session. Children, question number 10 in your workbook. Aunt Polly and Tom had a bittersweet relationship. Elaborate the statement by drawing out a character sketch of both Aunt Polly and Tom. Use as many adjectives as you can and support them with the lines from the text. Children, you have to describe Aunt Polly using different adjectives, and you have to use text from the story to make it more clear. Okay, for example, if you are writing kind, and from which text you understood that she was kind, that you have to mention. Okay, and like that you have to do for Aunt Polly and Tom. And question number 14. Every boy in the school was envious of Tom because he had lost his tooth. If you had been one of them, do you think you would have been envious too? Give reasons for your answer. Envious is nothing but getting jealous. Okay, and every boy in the school was feeling jealous of Tom because he had lost his tooth, and they were very curious. And if you had been one of them among the children in his school, do you think you would have been envious too? And give reasons for your answer. If yes, and for that you have to write your reason, and if it is a no, for that also you have to write your reason. And question number 15. Imagine you saw a thief in your dream last night. Give a description of the thief, his appearance, clothes, facial expressions, and so on. You have to give a detailed description of a thief in your dream last night. And children, along with that, you have to read the concept connection relative pronouns thoroughly in your concept book, and also you have to read all the examples and why we are using a particular relative pronoun in particular place. You have to be thorough about that so that it will be more clear for you. Yes? And children, hand in your completed home assignment in grade 5 English Google Classroom. Drink more water, reduce your screen time, eat healthy food, and don't use mobile phone and television often. Stay home and stay safe, children. Thank you so much.